Currently, consumers in South Africa pay value-added tax of 15% when buying goods and services. But some 21 food items are not subject to VAT or are VAT zero rated. These include brown bread, maize meal, rice and milk, among others. President Ramaphosa stated that the GNU is looking to extend this benefit to other products. While the zero rating of products is primarily to assist the poor, consumers of all socio-economic classes all benefit.
I think that one of the concerns always, when you introduce a new zero rating, is that it's obviously applicable to everybody. So from the poor households to the rich households, the rich households also get the advantage out of it at the end of the day. And there's no way that you can sort of limit that just to people that really need that advantage in the circumstances, and that's what makes it difficult. That also makes it more expensive in the circumstances, because obviously there's more tax or VAT that is being given away in as a result of that.
In November last year, Deputy Finance Minister David Masondo was on record to say that expanding the basket of zero-rated food items was not the right solution to address the higher cost of living, adding that it would simply mean the taxman collecting less in revenue, making it more difficult for the government to provide targeted interventions to the poor, like increased grants, for example, while also mentioning that in some instances the zero-rated benefit was not always transferred from suppliers to consumers. But clearly the policy has changed with the latest announcement under the new government. While welcoming the GNU's focus on alleviating poverty through the extension of zero-rated products, one civil society body argues that the provision of improved social grants in monetary terms would probably be more helpful.
Is that there is a huge paternalistic approach to saying to poor people, you don't have enough money, therefore we're going to decide what foodstuffs you need in order to live a more decent life, as opposed to saying to people, you lack income, you are income poor, therefore we will increase the social grant income to give you the ability to, with dignity, decide on the priorities that are important for you to navigate and negotiate your life in a better way, knowing that each household's budgets are different, each household's priorities are different.
But given that the focus is to ensure that indigent members of society can have access to affordable, nutritious food in a country that does have vast food choices, some say it's very difficult to get the balance right when it comes to selecting a basket of food items that make sense, with suggestion that this time may be an opportunity to refresh the options available.
The difficulty is to try and work out what the most appropriate basket of products is that should qualify for it. And, the list that we have is quite an old list. It was, developed in the 1990s. It, for example, doesn't have any meat on it. You wonder in a country like South Africa whether something like chicken shouldn't be on that list, and sort of given the consumption of chicken.
Positive around the idea of the proposed national dialogue to address the country's myriad of issues, SPI says that could serve as a platform for the government to learn more directly about the needs of ordinary people.
Our appeal really is that we don't rush, that state doesn't rush into doing anything, taking that approach of the alleviation strategy and consult. Ask households who are directly affected by poverty on a daily basis, what is it that you require? And that should possibly go into the national dialogue, which also came through as an announcement in the opening of Parliament's address. As part of the national dialogue, let it not just be an elite dialogue, but let's have that filtered down and understand what the priorities of people are.
The Social Policy Initiative also raised the concern that a substantial proportion of poorer South African consumers purchase their goods from informal shops like spaza shops, where VAT is not considered and prices are less subject to checks, adding that this means the VAT zero-rated benefit may likely not be translating for them. Nompamela Losiziba, SABC News, Johannesburg.